The next king, reigning from around 1352 to 1336, is Amenhotep IV. And this is a king that we really need to talk about because he is a very important king in Egyptian history, not in that he does something good for the Egyptian new kingdom, but in that he makes a religious revolution. So Amenhotep IV thought that Amun-Ra, because Amun-Ra was the main god and everybody worshipped him, that Amun-Ra became too powerful and that there would be too many gods that are worshipped. So his idea was, we need only one god. And we don't need Amun-Ra anymore. We need one god who is worshipped by everybody. So he made another sun god, the god Aton. He made him the new main god. And in this way, he invented Atonism. So here, this is Amun-Ra. This is the old god. And then this here, this is the new god. And yeah, this is the new god. And why he looks like this and not like a person, we will discuss that in one slide. And then he made Aton the new main god, and he built everything for Aton. So he built the great Aton temple. He also changed his name. So his changed his name from Amenhotep to Akhenaton. And Akhenaton means effective for Aton. This shows that he really worshipped the new main god. And he also moved the capital from Thebes to Akhetaton. And Akhetaton was a new city that he built. You can see that here, and the ruins are today. But Akhetaton means horizon of Aton. So everything pointed to Aton. And then he destructed all images of the other gods because he only wanted the people to worship Aton and nobody else. So what was this Atonism or this Aton religion? The principle of the Atonism was monotheism. So two principles. First, Aton cannot be displayed with an image. He is an abstract idea that can only be grasped mentally and spiritually. And that is why Aton was represented as this sun with these sunbeams. Because Aton is abstract. He is not a person like Amun-Ra or all the other gods who are displayed as persons, but he is a spirit. He is a spirit that can only grasp in an abstract way. And secondly, Aton is the only god, and he said, Akhenaton, so he himself, is the only son. And that had crucial conclusions, because first, all the house gods and all the holy animals, they are useless. They are not part of the Atonism of the new religion. They need to be burned and destructed. Secondly, because Akhenaton is the only son of Aton, only Akhenaton is allowed to intercede for the Egyptians. That means Akhenaton is the only high priest, and all the other priests of all the other temples, they are useless. We don't need them anymore. And then third, Akhenaton alone is allowed to bring offerings. So the priests of all the temples, they are not allowed to bring offerings anymore. Only Akhenaton may bring offerings to God. He is the only one who has the direct connection to Aton, the sun god. And what can we say about this religion? What can we say about this religion? We see that Akhenaton, because he wanted to be the connector between God Aton, and the people, and at the same time he wanted to be God because he is the son of a god. So, and we see here the really over-exaggerated claim to power, to having as much power as possible in his hands as the father and the mother of the whole world. And we see that especially in the arts and culture, that Atonism had its influence on the whole society. So in the arts and culture, the now and here, the moment is important. Maat, or the unshakable order, or justice, that is all not important. What is important is the here and now. Not continuity and stability of Maat, but that here and now one can enjoy the life. All priests and old elites are useless, I have said that. And then also it was a radical revolutionary turn in religious political life of Egypt. So how can we compare the old culture to the old religious Egypt culture to the new Aton culture? Here we see the statue of Thutmose III in the right. We see this is a normal statue, and this shows his face is almost perfect. He has an upright stance, and this shows the power and the mightiness of Thutmose III, and that he has been a great ruler, and that he is really important for the Egyptians. But then here on the other side we see Akhenaten's statue, and we see that it really differs, because, for example, he has a too long face, thin neck. He has too thin shoulders, then protruding belly and wide hips. Yeah. So before Akhenaten, nobody of the Egyptian kings would display himself with this belly or with this wide hips, because this is the Egyptians thought this is for women, and secondly, this would just be embarrassing. This would not represent the king's power and mightiness. But Akhenaten made this because he wanted to be father, so he wanted to be the male and the woman, and he wanted to be the one who represents the whole world. He wanted to represent himself like that. And that is why in all statues that we find of Akhenaten, he displays himself in such a way. Yeah, and then when we compare that to Thutmose again, we see he has strong shoulders, he has a thin hip, he has a wide face to show the power and mightiness. He has this fist that shows how strong he is, but that is not the case with Akhenaten. So Akhenaten as the male-female hermaphrodite, and then another comparison is we can also compare Akhenaten's statue to the Nofretete statue. Many of you also know this statue. This is also perfect, because the perfect face. There are no disruptions here on the skin, but she has a perfect skin, and this shows this is a sign of this perfect reign, continuity and stability. But here, Akhenaten really wanted to display the here and now, the realities of life, and therefore it really his statue and the statue of normal Egyptian kings, it really differed. And then, but there were some problems, because there were unhappy priests, because the priests they were useless, they were not needed, so they were unhappy, and this Atonism it was only implemented in public life. In secret, in the Egyptian homes, the old culture, the old Egyptian gods, it was still continued, because people didn't want to worship a new god. They didn't want to change their religion, and they felt enforced by Akhenaten to accept this new religion, and they didn't want it.